Hello, everyone, and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. In the news, just over 150 ballots have been cast so far by Hopkins County voters in the Republican and Democratic Party primary elections. As of 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, 23 Democratic primary ballots and 131 GOP primary ballots have been filled out. Early voting will be continuing from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. on February 19th through the 22nd, also February 24th, February 26th, and February 28th. Also from noon until 5 p.m. on February 23rd, 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. on February 25th and February 27th. All early voting is taking place in the Justice of the Peace No. 2 courtroom in the Hopkins County Courthouse Annex at 128 Jefferson Street. On March 3rd, Election Day, the primary voting will take place 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. at the 12 voting centers in the county. Last day to request a ballot by mail is on this Friday, and that's February 21st. A GoFundMe account has been established by Lena Noble for the family of Daryl Puckett, a Sulphur Springs High School junior, to help with funeral expenses. Puckett was working on a vehicle Monday when a jack slipped, causing fatal injuries. He was found by his girlfriend, according to a Hopkins County Sheriff's Office report. Noble set up the page for the Puckett family to help with funeral and burial expenses, and a goal of $10,000 has been set, and as of Wednesday morning, some $1,200 in donations had been received.
Some very exciting things going on over at Schaefer's Place at 410 Main Street. Arts, education, music, and more. Let's meet Charles and Kenya Schaefer.
First of all, we're located on 410 Main Street, and each and every third Thursday, once a month, we have a tribute show that we like to present to the community, and it's called just Tribute Thursdays. Every third Thursday, my wife does the catering, and we put a choir together. We have a 6-piece choir right now, and then sometimes we bring our whole big band down, and then other times we just use a 3-piece and feature the choir, and my wife sings, and we just have a good community. Good time, going back through some old good classics, just good music of the timeless ages.
Is it family friendly?
Yes, ma'am, it is. We encourage all families to come, especially couples. We encourage couples and home building, so it's very family friendly.
And this is a point around here to bring out. It is alcohol free?
Yes, ma'am, it is, because we understand that, around Sulphur Springs, everybody can't be around alcohol. So we just want to be one of the few venues that offer good entertainment, good food, good music, and no alcohol.
Okay, wonderful to hear. And so you mentioned that Tribute Thursdays, and then your Friday night, every Friday night. What is that, Kenya?
Every Friday we have... We used to just have open mic, but we have labeled the Friday night Sabbath sessions as we study in our Word and going back to the Hebrew grounds. So we make sure that we're honoring the Sabbath and still having a good family-friendly time. So we begin doors open at 7. The show, if there's any singing or if there's a movie being played, we'll start that at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And we'll go until 11.
Okay, all right. Well, and we've kind of touched just the surface of what is going on at 410 Main Street at Schaefer's Place. Mm-hmm. You have a school in there.
Yes.
You have a performance venue. Mm-hmm. You have instruction for singers who want to learn to sing.
Yes.
And better performance skills. Drummers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Who want to learn that or need more instruction. And you also have some school programs.
Yes.
Which we're in Black History Month, and so you are kind of participating in that pretty well. Is that right, Kim?
Yes. We, the children they have been working tediously on several poems, on some research papers, and we've also got what some would call worship dance, if you have that word, worship dance or praise dance.
Okay.
And the children will be performing on this Friday, the 21st, for that. So that's going to be pretty neat. And we'll have food there as well.
Okay. I think it seems like you always have food.
Yeah.
Yes, we always
You know, food is a good, it's a good conversation piece.
It's always good to, warm your hearts with a good plate.
Well, and that makes people feel loved and wanted.
Yeah.
So, kind of to begin at the beginning, you started out with a homeschool that was not in your home, but at your venue at 410 Main Street.
Yes.
And you started 1 year ago tomorrow.
Yes, 1 year ago tomorrow. We started this journey, and it's been a blessing. We started off with one student, actually, and now we're all the way up to 10, and that's our limit. We're not going over 10. We're going to graduate a few before we move on, but it's just really been a blessing to see, the trust that parents have in us, and the students' progressiveness as they are progressing through in the school. So, it's just something that we want to be able to give back to our communities and show of leadership and show of support for, building a great, community so that we all can, give back to the students that need it. This generation really needs it. And so we just want to do our part.
Well, in talking about your school, which is Chaffers Place Academy and Arts, at the Rock one day, I heard some explanation from you, Kenya, about the kind of school that is this type of school is reaching out to certain kind of people, and you mentioned that some children who had been bullied in public school, their parents have really found a niche there. Yes.
Homeschooling hasn't always been accepted, for one. We can start there. But as time has passed, parents are grasping to the concept of raising their children in homeschooling. Even though it's not their home, we give them the comfortable atmosphere to be able to properly, succeed. Several of the children have been bullied that we have accepted. There are a couple who needed a second chance and who couldn't go to any school. And then there's a few who their parents trust the curriculum that we have set before and, have, registered their children. And we've seen a great turnaround. I used to say 360, but really a 180. An about face.
Okay.
So those children have really, really grasped onto how we're teaching. They learn us. We're not mom and dad, but we're like a mom and dad to them. And we treat them as though they're our children.
It is a calm environment, a loving one based in Scripture. It's a curriculum.
Yes. We actually start off every morning with Bible, and not just reading the Word, but applying.
Okay.
The children learn application, and sometimes their parents will sit in to see exactly what they're learning.
Okay.
And that is a really, really good thing. We've had mended relationships from children to parents, children to grandparents, and that's been a really, really good thing to see. It's a blessing to see.
Was this a dream for a long time, and it finally, somehow, the seed began to sprout?
Well, actually, I've been homeschooling for going on 13 years this July, and I've graduated several students in the Carrollton area who are now graduated from Ivy League schools, Stanford, Berkeley, and these are major schools. So when I met my husband, I didn't want that to die. I took a break for a couple of years. When I moved to Atlanta, I'm still homeschooling my biological children. But when we came back here, I mentioned it to them. I'd like to go ahead and, reach out to some people who are needing us, who are needing these curriculums. And so we put our foot forward, and here we are.
You have a location at 410 Main Street that you have modified to suit the school and your performance venue.
Yes.
And quite busy with that.
Yeah, it used to belong to Mr. Benny Potter, I believe. And we finally met a few days ago. He came by and he said, I just wanted to see, what the venue looks like now that, I'm not in it and the wall is knocked down. And he came in and he was very pleased with it, and he said he will be back. But that's just what we, wanted to do. We wanted to be able to present something to the community in the form of Schaefer's Place that just helps build and inspire. And music does all of that. When you incorporate music, it helps mend broken pieces. It helps bridge together gaps. It's a very great way to start rebuilding some things in the world. And so.
Well, music does so much good in our lives.
Yes, it does.
And so the fact that you're bringing music there to your venue, open to the public to come in and enjoy the shows that you put on.
Yes.
We kind of connect your hours, Kenya, so we kind of connect you with music all the way.
Yes.
And I know that it was because of music that you met Charles.
Yes. Indeed.
I met her while she was singing on an open mic in Atlanta, Georgia. And I found out she was from Texas, and I said, well, I'm from Texas.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, Dallas, Texas, born and raised. That's where I was born at. And so I had moved to Atlanta because I was just searching for my musical career, my musical dreams. And so I've just been traveling ever since I met him. Once I met my wife, all the brakes hit. I stopped everything, and I found out you was from Sulphur Springs. I said, well, let's go on back home to Texas then, and let's see how we can, build our life there. And here we are. I left everything without a blink of an eye, without a thought of it. I said, it's a wrap. I'm going back home. And so here we are, back in Texas. And, I love where the Father is bringing us, where God is taking us. And, it's a blessing to see how He's using us. So I'm just excited. This is my first and last marriage. And it is what it is. We ride it.
It seems to me like I get the sense that you both have so much that you're bringing to this venture that you're doing, but you're also letting yourselves be led.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to. That's the purpose of the Spirit. If you love Yahweh like we love Him, the purpose of the Spirit is to learn to not lead yourself, but allow yourself to be led. That way, if you're allowing yourself to be led, then the Father can trust that you're allowing your body to be used by Him to do His will. And that's really our purpose on this earth, is to allow Him to work through us so that we can show Him to people who've never seen Him before, So that's the love of Christ. And that's what we had. And that's our responsibility. Not just as me or my wife, but as you and every other listener that's listening. Our responsibility is to, at some point in time, make a total about face in our lives and allow the Spirit to lead us instead of us leading ourselves. And let's try some different, solutions.
Okay. Well, speaking of different solutions now, Kenya, you have just recently opened something very new in your life. It's to do with dancing.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's not new in your life.
No, not new, but new to the area. I want to call out a shout out to Miss Karen Weatherman. Mm-hmm. Karen reached out to me a few weeks ago, and it was right up my alley because I've been praying about, I've done theater, I've done dancing, but I want to be able to share this because it's not just exercise for the body, but it's mental exercise, and it's good conversation again. So I am doing line dancing every first and third Tuesdays of each month, and it's at the Senior Citizen Building on MLK Drive.
Okay.
So, and it is for senior citizen, the senior citizen line dancing. And yesterday we had a great turnout. We had about 15 people in there.
I have had some messages sent to me online. Hey, that sounds like fun.
It is.
And so these are ladies that I don't think usually go, maybe to the senior center with the exercise programs that have been in place.
Yes.
So it's wonderful. You have an event this Friday at your school for the children.
Yes. Yes. Once again, we're working on, and being Black History Month, the children have been working profusely on research papers and learning about this and some of their own background that they didn't know about. That was pretty cool to find some things out. And this Friday we're going to have we say a show, but it's their program. Most public schools would say PTA program, but it's just our program.
And about what time?
At 6 p.m.
Okay, and the public can come to that
Public
free
can
of
come.
charge.
Yes.
Free of charge.
And something else you're doing on Saturday, singing?
Yes, I'll be singing. The MLK Church of Christ is hosting a Black History program at the Civic Center in the auditorium, and I will be singing there on Saturday at 6 p.m.
Okay. So many things going on, and life's so busy, but I can tell from your faces that you get a lot of joy out of what you have incubating, let's say, for the future for Chaffers Place.
Yeah, that's just like, when you're getting ready to, give birth, you're just so excited about that baby coming out. You talk to it while it's in the belly, and you make sure, it gets everything it needs. So that's just where we are. Everybody say tomorrow night, we have our 1-year anniversary at Chaffers Place, the tribute show, Love and Jazz. We're doing Love and Jazz.
Love and Jazz.
Love and Jazz.
Night,
so we're going to be doing some jazz music tomorrow night. 7 o'clock, dinner starts, and gospel music. So it's a mixture of jazz and gospel.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. I'm excited. And I hope to be there. Thank you both for coming in this morning.
All praises. Thank you for having us.
In sports, the Wildcats basketball team's bi-district game with Lufkin has been firmed up. The Wildcats and the Panthers will be playing Monday night at 7 in the Wagstaff Arena at Tyler Junior College. The Wildcats are runners-up in District 15-5A, and Lufkin was the third-place team in District 16-5A. The teams met last season in a regional quarterfinal game at TJC, and the Wildcats won that one 56-44. The Wildcats, ranked number 10 in Class 5A, wrapped up district play Tuesday night with a 58-45 win over Lindale in the main gym at Sulphur Springs High School on senior night. The Wildcats finished second in district as Mount Pleasant took the district championship with a 55-51 win at Greenville Tuesday night. Lindale and Texas High will also be playoff bound. Tuesday, the Wildcats got off to a good start. They led Lindale 18-8 after the first quarter. Wildcats led 29-20 at the half and 46-32 after 3 quarters. Then the Eagles made a run in the fourth quarter, but they could get no closer than 7 points. Senior Grayson McClure then hit 2 big 3-pointers to get that lead back up to 13 points. Senior Day Hall made probably his last home game count, scoring 20 points. Seniors Cameron Kahn and McClure both had 12 points. Junior Boo Wilkerson scored 8 points. Sophomore Justin Hare, back from illness, scored 4 points. And junior point guard Lamadrick Johnson added 2 points. Senior Justin Brock was also honored on senior night, along with a Wildcat manager and Hall, Kahn, and McClure. Lindale's Jacob Koshal led all scorers in last night's game with 22 points. The Wildcats end district play with an 8-2 record. Their season record is now 26-8. Wildcat soccer team was attempting to defeat Mount Pleasant for the first time since 2006 as the two teams met for a district game at the Prim Tuesday night. That streak continues as Mount Pleasant scored the game's only goal with about 10 minutes left, and that goal stood up for a 1-0 Tigers win. Wildcats now 2-1 in district play and 8-5-5 for the season. Wildcats soccer coach Alexi Upton discussed that close loss.
I thought we played really great. We were defensively great. We were offensively great. We had a lot of chances. We had a lot of moments. And I told our boys, if you don't finish your chances, one mistake can kill you. And I think that's really all it boiled down to. And one mistake killed us. We had a really great game and played really well, but if you don't get those chances on your end, one chance for them gets them the win. And it hurt. It hurt a lot of our kids. There were some tears afterwards, and it was disappointing, but it's still all good. We can still right the ship. We can still get to go to their house and play them there. So, we still got to be optimistic and just keep winning our games leading up to that. So.
Yeah, just a thin margin of error, against Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, there is no margin of error against Mount Pleasant. They're going to get their one chance and they're going to score their one goal and win 1-0. Just like they did. So, there's nothing we can really do about that. other than just be smarter and finish our chances that we have. So
We did have some chances, and I guess just the same thing, hit the post and all that.
we were just dinging, knocking, saves by keeper, a lot of things, and it was just frustrating for us. But like I said, we just gotta keep our heads up and stay composed. Go handle our next 2 games in this first half of district, and then handle everything leading up to them the second time. So.
Got Texas High coming into the Prim on Friday. We'll get to see Jesus De Leon again.
Yeah, you will get to see Jesus De Leon. They haven't had the most success. They're 3 losses and not a lot of good goal differential. They've been getting a little smacking on. So, I don't really know what to expect from them, but hopefully we can go have a good result, and a lot of fans can come out. It'll be a nice sunny day, and we can get a really good result.
Be real important to kind of bounce back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know our kids, and they'll always redeem themselves. They'll always bounce back, and they'll always fight. So they may have had a slip, but they're always going to come back and fight and work hard.
The Lady Cats soccer team lost their first district game at Mount Pleasant on Tuesday night by the score of 3-1. Lady Cats are now 2-1 in district play and 6-7-1 overall. And Lady Cats coach Javier Aguayo expressed a lot of frustration Wednesday morning.
We went out there. They press high press, and our girls were getting a little frustrated by that. At times, there was 2 girls pressing to 1 player, and we couldn't just come out. First half, it was a little sloppy for us. We tried to keep possession of the ball, which we did for a bit, but other than that, we would lose ball because of their high press. And another, like I said, frustrating night because first half, they scored 3 goals on us first half. The first goal came off of a corner. We left the girl open, and she just had the ball in and scored, which, I'll take that. It was our mistake. But other than that, the second goal comes from a free kick that it should have been our throw-in, so they throw it in, and we're like, no, it's our ball. But he gave it to them, they throw it in, and then, of course, we do a foul in the middle of the field, and they do a free kick and deflects off of a keeper's hand, and it goes in. And that's in a minute. That's within a span time of from the first goal, within 5 minutes. And then the second goal comes in 2 minutes later, a penalty kick, a PK. So they do a long ball up in the air, and then my keeper comes out and hits the ball. And apparently he saw that my keeper hit their girl, which honestly it was our player on the ground and not their player. So he calls a PK. Well, his AR singles him down, and she's like, no, it's no PK, no PK. But he's like, no, it is. I saw a PK. So he called a PK against us. But other than that, it was a rough first half for us. Came out second half strong. We came out second half strong. We dominated a little bit more of the game. They were still doing a little bit high press, but we decided to play our game and just kind of started controlling the game. And then their high press wasn't really affecting us as much. But it's a lot of mistakes from the refs, and it's just frustration from the players, feeling like the ref is against us. But I told them, hey, we just got to go out there, go out there, clear your mind, and just let's play, let's touch, let's do what we know how to do and try to come back. It was just a little too late. Rebecca scored within about 7 minutes left of the game. It was a really good goal. We started touching the ball, playing through balls, and Rebecca got a little deflection. She went in there, shot it first time, and it went in. We had a couple other chances within 5 minutes left. So, but like I said, mistakes from the refs, it kind of causes your teams to be frustrated, and it causes them to concentrate and just kind of focus in the game and do what they need to do. I don't like blaming refs, but it was a tough night, frustrating night. I wish the ref, was a little bit more even on his calls. Yeah, fair calls. But
I know in your release that you put out last night, you said basically, hey, we just have to move along now and try to finish strong for the rest of the first half.
Yeah, I told the girls, hey, we got to move on. We got to look ahead who we have next. It's T-High. I know last night they barely beat Lindale 2-1. They went overtime. They beat them. They scored the second goal in second overtime. But it doesn't mean anything. We got to go out there and work hard and play our game, keep possession, clean up some things that we did yesterday against Mount Pleasant. Playing feet, trapping the ball, stuff like that we couldn't do yesterday. Second half, like I said, we came out and started doing it. But like I've said before, we need to start doing that since the first half. First half, keep possession of the game, move the ball, and get good traps, and, keep the score in our favor. So we'll go to a T-High, and then we'll have Roy City on Tuesday, which that's going to be a tough game as well.
Yeah.
They're also undefeated now. They beat, I believe they beat yesterday, was it Lindale? No, sorry, it was Greenville. They beat Greenville last night, I believe so. But anyways, they'll go against Mount Pleasant Friday. And so that if Roy City beats Mount Pleasant and we go out and beat Roy City, we'll all have one loss. So we'll kind of be tied for district, and it'll depend on what happens next. So hopefully we go out there Friday and it's our favor, and then they'll come here Tuesday. Roy City will, and hopefully go out there and play hard and we can beat them. Yeah.
I think Texas High, don't they still have a grass field over there?
T-High, no, they actually play at the main stadium now. So I know it's not at the actual campus. It's a little further ways away from their campus. It's a nice little stadium, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it is artificial.
Yeah,
turf.
it's turf. Yes, it's a nice little stadium.
It had grass, but it was very good grass.
Yes.
So at least it's artificial now.
Yeah. So last year was the first year I was there with the JV boys. But yes, they have a nice little field, turf and all that. So that's going to help out as well, just in case the weather's pretty bad.
That's Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. Thank you for joining me, and so long, everybody.